didn't really think I had a urge to kill her. I just wanted her to stop. And
what did you want to do to her?
what did I want to do with her? Just to have her stop and.
But how would you do it? What did you think in your head about how you would do it? That's what we're trying to get at. When did you first think about treating your mom violently to get what you wanted her to do?
Probably in 4th grade.
Okay, there we go. Fourth,
the 5th and the 6th was probably about that grade.
and what was in your mind that you wanted to do to get her to treat you a certain way? What did you want to do to your mom here?
I wanted her to stop being angry at me for not knowing how to...
But she wasn't stopping.
No, she wasn't stopping.
Was she?
No.
She kept picking at you.
She kept
belittling you, embarrassing you. I mean, that was pretty clear from yesterday.
It happened in school, too, so I had her...
So what was your way of retaliating against her in your mind? What were you thinking to do to your mom?
I don't know if I was thinking of hurting her. I just wanted her to stop and let me alone. Angry at her for pushing on me to remember, and I just couldn't remember, and I just wanted her to stop.
But she didn't.
But she didn't know.
She didn't stop. So somewhere in the 4th or 5th grade, that sense of helplessness that you had not being able to get her to stop would very likely have produced thoughts of taking back some power and control over your mom to get the bitch to shut up. I mean, I'm sorry, but Gary, that's what we hear, and that's what one of the things we're looking to get a better understanding of.
During that thing, I usually took it out on other things instead of hurting her. Living things, killing animals.
Okay.
Killing animals. I stabbed a kid one time.
Okay.
Stabbed a kid with a knife.
Tell me about that.
It was down by Chinook, where I used to go to school. And boy was playing. I stabbed him in the side and didn't kill him. And I think it must have been about 6th grade, or I think it was 7th grade. And that was at the same time I was breaking out windows, throwing rocks at windows at school.
Not interested in that.
But that's what I took my aggression on. I couldn't take it on my mom. I had to take it on my animals and
How many
the
animals
kids.
did you kill?
I killed a lot of birds, but one cat suffocated in an ice chest, and shot babies at dogs to hurt them, and threw rocks at my brother. About that time, I think I was getting out of that, though.
You couldn't take your aggressions out on your mom.
No, I couldn't.
But you could think about it.
I could think about it, and
What'd you think?
I thought about hurting her, so she'd shut up and leave me alone, and then
How did you think about hurting your mom?
killing her.
And how would you do that?
I thought with my hands, or I didn't have no guns or anything, so I didn't. It had to have been hands or.
And then after she was dead, what were you going to do in your head?
In my head, I don't know what I would do. I just wanted her to stop. One time there, they were going to put me in a special school. I didn't want that. My dad and my mom were arguing about it all the time. And it was for retarded people, and I wasn't retarded, I don't think. So I was mad at them for wanting to put me away from other kids. And wanting to hurt her. And hurt her bad.
What does that mean, hurt her bad? Help me to understand that.
Just beat her up so she would leave me alone. And
how would you do that in your head?
My hands. Beat her up with my hands. Maybe use a knife.
What would you do with the knife?
I'd probably stab her with it. She was the big problem I had. I mean, my dad wasn't around that much. He was working all the time, and she was one of us at control, and she was constantly trying to get me to do better in school, and I just couldn't do better. I wanted to have her stop, and the only way was to kill her, to hurt her bad.
Help me understand the knife.
Well, the knives are in the drawer. That would be, I use a knife on that, stab that boy, and I could use a knife on her if I wanted to. It's a way of killing, and
Okay, walk me through what you were going to do with the knife in your head to your mother.
Cut her throat so she wouldn't stop degrading me and putting me in I couldn't remember things, and that was the only way I could think of hurting her to get her to stop.
When did you think about having sex with your mother?
When 14 or 15, I think.
Tell me about that. It's about the same time frame.
I'd see her out sunbathing, and I feel that she'd be good to have sex with, but she's my mother, and I never really. She's the only woman in my life, other than neighborhood girls. But so I'd get fantasies of having sex with her, and wanting to, but being restricted on that part.
Explain to me fantasies and restricted on that part.
Well, because if she's my mother, it's not right for having sex with your mother, and she was always in two pieces, and when she'd come off work, she'd go in the backyard. So it was inviting to fantasize with her. She was there sunbathing and tan, and it was a something that really intrigued me. It was all women like this. They're different, and it roused me to. I get a hard on sometimes, and it was the only time I had an opposite sex. In class, everybody's clothed and stuff like that. This was a woman that was sometimes, laying down with no bra on. I mean, you couldn't see anything but bare skin, and it was a turn on in a way, and I enjoyed looking out the window at her when she wasn't watching.
Did your mom enjoy that?
She didn't even know I was there. No, she was down just sunbathing, and then she'd turn over, and before she turned over, she always fastened her bra and turned over, and maybe a little bit up here to show, because she no tan marks. And I stared and looked out all the time.
And had your fantasies?
I had a fantasy, yes.
It makes sense to me. Makes sense that you would have a fantasy. Need to have you tell me what that was.
Just a fantasy of wanting to have sex, touch her, feel her body, have her show me how to have sex. Because mothers teach you a lot of things, It's just a fantasy. It's something she wouldn't do it, but it's.
In your fantasy, what would your mom have you do to her?
Have me do to her? My fantasy would be to explore, to find different things what a woman has, girls have that guys don't have. Show me how to have sex, good sex. What the woman wants, and feel every bit of her body to enjoy a woman and have sex with her.
But at the same time in your life, and listen carefully to this, at the same time in your life, you also hate your mom for what she's doing to you.
Yes.
So how are those thoughts and fantasies colliding together? Because we know that happens. How are they colliding together in your head?
And colliding together in my head when she was just laying down there, she was more of a sex object than a mother, and more of the fantasies of having sex with her and nothing of having to kill her. Two different things. When she was always Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. When she's down there, she's a sex fantasy, sex object. When she's up there trying to get me to read, and she's the other side of something I hated. I loved the part of her being a sex object, but I didn't like the part of her being a mother and working with me, as trying to help me in reading, and I liked the sex part better than I liked the mother that was always trying to hurt, belittle me, and because I wasn't learning.